This is your host Clemenon, and welcome to Pitch Talk. Let's go. You guys can train all you want, but your mentality on the field is what's really going to make or break you. What do I mean by that? I'm telling you that the mental side of the game is far more important than the physical. Why? Because I've seen players who are way more skilled than me, the flashiest, techiest players, but if you're able to get into their head or frustrate them or things aren't going their way, then they become very, very average. So I need you guys to understand and to always remember that. If your mental is weak on the field, even if you have some of the best skills or you're super fast, you're super strong, you will not be effective as a player. And I can speak from personal experience. You guys have seen all the shots that I've missed, the easy wide open goals or the hesitation in a lot of the videos and a lot of the games that I played. And I'm telling you right now, that is because mentally I was not confident in myself. And I kept thinking, oh, what if I miss or what if I mess up? If you're constantly thinking that as a player, no matter how much you work on things physically, and like I said, I was training a lot and I was playing a lot, and I was just like, oh man, why am I not scoring as many goals, or why am I not scoring the goals like I should be, or why am I messing up on this and that? It's because I wasn't confident in myself. And that's why I'm here to tell you guys the truth. Nobody wants to talk about it, but the mental side of the game is way more important than the physical. That's why you have guys like Richarlison coming out and, crying on camera talking about how he felt after the World Cup, because it's a lot, especially at that level, the things that they have to deal with mentally. And for him to come out, a player of his level to come out and say that he was depressed after that, it's just eye-opening because, again, the mental side of the game is one of the most important things, man. If you cannot sustain and maintain yourself mentally as a player, no matter how good you are skill-wise, you will end up crumbling. Because if you know how to do all the skill moves, you have good shooting technique, but you are not confident in yourself, it will all start to add up because you'll start to doubt yourself and be like, oh, wait, why am I not doing this? Or am I as good as I think I am? Maybe I'm bad and this and that. And it'll start to compound. So that's why I wanted to make this first episode about the mentality, changing your mentality and always trying to keep a positive mentality about yourself, because no matter what, you're not going to be perfect. And that's okay. Professionals mess up all the time. They miss wide open goals all the time. So if you as an amateur or whatever level you're at, if you're saying to yourself, oh, I'm not good enough because of this and that, then it's not helping you. It's not going to help you progress, because mistakes are going to happen. In the moment during that game, you just have to keep going because mistakes are going to happen. Sometimes it may even cost you a goal, but I guarantee you, you'll learn from that. You'll not want to do it again, so that the next time you're in that situation, you can be like, okay, let me try this option instead. Mistakes are part of the game. Just because you mess up doesn't mean you're a bad player. But you have to be mentally strong enough to know that you have to keep going. If you just quit and give up on yourself, you're not going to get better and you're not going to improve. In games, you're going to miss a lot of shots. In games, you're going to miss a lot of passes. It's okay. It's going to happen. But you have to keep going. If you guys want to become better players, it's not just about watching these skill move videos and be like, hey, Clemenon, can you show this skill move? Of course, I'm going to keep showing you guys more skill moves. But I want you guys to understand, if all you do is improve your skill moves, but you do not improve on the mental side of the game, you're not going to get very far. And the last point I want to touch on is increasing your IQ, because that's a part of the mental as well. If you are a good player, you're very skillful, but you don't have good soccer IQ, man, I see that all the time. And it's very, very sad to see, because you can tell that some of these players have so much potential, but they just refuse to learn anything new. They refuse to learn any tactics of the game. And don't let that be you guys. I think as a player, you should understand why you should pass and then check into space. Why at certain times you'll want somebody to drop in and check for the ball, even if they're not going to receive it, and then have someone do the run behind them. Spatial awareness is key in soccer, and if you don't know how to exploit that, then you're not going to be as effective as you could be. Again, that also goes with timing your runs and knowing it when the defender is going to switch their hips, or making them switch their hips so you can get a pass or a shot, or just when to use the 1-2 pass, when to take a touch, when to just one touch it, when to take a couple touches to open up space. game management. All these things come into play when you're talking about tactics. And if you guys have not looked into any tactics, how to beat the press, how to press as a team, how to defend as a team, you need to look into these things because that's also important to your growth as a player as well. The mental side of the game, the tactical side of the game is super, super important. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. Work on the mental slash tactical side of the game as much as you work on the physical. Because if you don't, you will be far behind. There are players like Busquets who are physically, they're not the strongest, they're not the fastest, but their IQ, their ability to play quickly and with decisiveness makes them great. It makes them great, not the physical. The mental side of the game is what makes these players great. Of course, Messi has the dribbling, he has the passing ability, he has the scoring ability, but what really makes him great is his timing and his soccer IQ. So go ahead and ask yourself, what are some things that I need to improve on as a player? Am I checking into space? Is my off the ball movement there? Do I know how to beat the press? Do I know when to press? Am I a mentally strong player? Am I easy to frustrate on the field? Is that going to make me a liability to my teammate? Am I able to learn and take in information and criticism to become a better player? These are some of the things that you guys have to ask yourself. I don't know the answers, but you do. So this is going to conclude today's episode of Pitch Talk. I'm glad you guys tuned in, and I hope you guys take this advice to go on and become better players. Let's go.